The Flash is back! Hello everybody and welcome to the Flash After Show here at thestream.tv. Yes, it's back. It's been 3 long weeks, but we are finally here. Guys, I'm Jack Hind here at thestream.tv studios, and to my right, the beautiful, the wonderful, Carolina Bonetti. Carolina, say what's up.
Yes, it'd be nice to me because I'm so close today.
I'm always nice to you, Carolina. Guys, next to Carolina, we have Rory Ross. Rory, say
up,
what's
guys?
up. As you can see, Adam isn't here today. Adam is, oh, Carolina Bonetti. Oh, cool. I didn't realize we were calling you Carolina Bonetti today.
Oh, man.
Guys, as you can see, Adam isn't actually with us today, unfortunately. He is in Hawaii. So let's all have a moment to feel sorry for Adam in Hawaii.
I feel no remorse.
Devon, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Flashpoint Paradox in my lap, as always. Just looking over my favorite parts, because you know how I do it.
You watch, you're going to come back halfway through this episode and he's going to be sat there on his book, just like reading it. We're going to be like, Devon, wake up.
I'm like, huh? I'm at my favorite part. What?
Guys, I'm going to introduce our special guest today. Of course, it is Michael Benyaya. Michael, say what's up. Thank you very much for having you today.
What's up, Internet?
What's up, Internet? the Twitterverse, the Arrowverse, the Flashverse, the every kind of verse out there. Guys, Michael's been, I'm going to quickly throw this one out there, in pretty much every video game you guys would have ever played. I was doing a lot of research on it and I was like, this guy has voiced all of my favorite characters in a bunch of different video games. So, guys, do your research and find out which video games Michael's been in that you guys have played. Thank you for joining us today, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, thank you, Carolina, for helping us out with this one as well. Carolina's a good friend of Michael's. We got the ins and outs of it there.
Well, he was my big brother in a film. And
We met on a movie. She
Quickly
played
throw that one out
my
there.
younger sister in a movie called For the Love of Money a few years ago. And now it's so good to see her doing this kind of stuff.
And then we sit down and I found out that you actually raised Devon.
He did. About that. He did the voice of a character in the show Reboot back in the 90s. I don't know if all you guys remember that, but yes, that technically means you're my father.
I am
Surprise!
your father. I am your father.
We just hit like Star Wars, Flash, Reboot, For the Love of Money within about 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yes.
Beat that.
I virtually raised you.
Yes.
It was a world, it's not a computer, like a virtual world. So
It was like
I
Sims.
virtually raised
You were like his Sims dad.
Yes, like a big brother.
He's always been there for me, too. He's always been there.
Yeah.
Right, first of all, you look way too young to be her older brother. Just putting that one out.
Thank you.
Just playing with you. Right, guys, like I said, we finally back with the Flash, so let's jump right into things. And my first things first that I have to bring up about Barry is that this guy has such an urgency to get faster that he was willing to use V9. The one thing that everybody told him, no, it's going to kill you. No, it's going to destroy your cells. Please.
Well,
I don't want to talk about this because it gets me heated. Devon.
Like I said, Jack, you got to roll with the punches, man. I understand the inconsistencies in speed is going to upset you, but it's not a movie, it's a TV show. I understand that. But I will say, with that being said, that I see why he wants to use the Velocity 9. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to just leave this right here so y'all can see this while I'm talking. But I see why he wants to use the Velocity 9. You got to think, every new little mini villain that comes in is somehow, in some way, shape, or form faster than him. And now, shout out to Mr. Benyaya here, who was in, I'm going to let you guys guess the episode, but there happened to be a certain Misty character.
I was going to say, I wanted them to guess the villain of the, I wanted them to work it
Figure
out.
out which episode that was. But even then, with the Mist, for example, he was faster than he couldn't outrun the Mist. He had to figure out how to get through. When we had Peekaboo, he couldn't outrun Peekaboo. Reverse Flash comes, he can't outrun Reverse Flash. Zoom comes, he can't outrun Reverse Zoom. So it's like, I see why he's like, y'all had this the whole time? I might not have been beat up so many times, you know?
It's not even that. I'm just going to jump into this one. He didn't throw a single punch. Like, okay, you're a woman. I don't know if they were trying to avoid those kind of things, which I highly doubt because she's a villain. He's a good guy.
She was definitely punching a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. And like, he fell over when he was chasing her. I said like it's as if Barry's been out of superhero practice for the last 3 weeks. It was literally like Barry had lost his touch and now he's kind of like, right, well, I just kind of need to jump back into
Well,
things.
he totally was.
Right.
I like to think that when we go on break, he goes on break. Like, there is nothing happening in that city when we're not watching. They sit home and watch Netflix. And then it comes back on and it comes...
So
It
Barry's
comes back
just sat
on
there,
and he comes back.
just sipping
he
his
sat
CC
there.
jitters
There's
coffee.
no chill because
Because
there's
he's
no
the
Iris
Flash.
right
There should
now.
be no
yeah,
chill.
it's just Netflix.
How was it for you when you were on set dealing with like Barry Allen and Iris West? I'm just saying their screen names and whatnot.
Right.
When you were there seeing him in action, like how was it? Is he on set like, hey, y'all know I'm the Flash, right? I'm faster than this guy. Can we just? Oh, it's not in the script. All right, it's cool.
Right.
It's
Well,
cool.
when I did the show, it was an early episode. You don't want to give away which number.
I'm not gonna say which one.
And the show had not aired yet, so I actually knew the actor Grant from when he was on Glee. So we were talking about Glee, and Jesse Martin I knew from Law & Order, and we talked about that. So I had not seen the show yet. I mean, I knew The Flash from when I was a kid, but I hadn't seen the new version of it. But he's not really fast in real life. I hate to break it to you. He wants normal speed.
I really hope everybody does that to a point. Like, I hope everybody on the Flash set actually races just for the hell of it. My money's on Carlos.
You think so?
Oh yeah, Carlos is going to take all of them. He's going to tie his hair back into a ponytail, going to put his sneakers on, and boom, Carlos
Okay, but
is
we
gone.
were talking about this during the actual, like, while we were watching it. Carlos, like, Cisco runs the show. I feel like there's no Flash without Cisco. He is the best character on the show. I really feel like he is the glue that holds it together.
That's a little
Shout out
interesting.
to Carlos Valdez.
What's the show called?
The Flash. I mean, no, don't get me wrong.
Not
I
called
love
Cisco
Grant.
and the Flash.
Exactly.
Which sounds like a
Don't get me
great
wrong.
band name.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
He's a great singer.
Don't get me
as well.
wrong. I love Grant Gustin. He's phenomenal. But come on, man.
thing is-
Cisco's the heart of the show. That's
He's definitely
the
the
thing, is he's
comic
the heart.
relief.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Because I mean, Grant, he does a great job with the whole dramatics part. Like he really shows the emotions. But
there
I
you
think
There he
the right
is.
name
You're not
now?
me anymore.
Yes, finally. There we go. My identity's back. But
You make a much better Carolina. I'm not going to lie though, Rory.
how's it going? I don't know. I could only pull that off for so long. But you know, then Carlos, his character, he does a fantastic job with the comedic relief, just making sure that everything is running smoothly and like adding the names too for the.
Yeah, he literally names
the
every
superhero
villain
names.
that we get on the
Except
show.
this one.
Right,
But he's
Bad
right,
Flash.
the crazy
Yeah, I
ones
was
do
gonna
name
say.
themselves. But I'm going to wrap
Yeah.
that up by saying, Barry, eating ain't cheating, okay? Don't go taking that Velocity 9. You put in the work, and you go do it yourself and get that speed, okay?
And you
you
ain't cheating.
Yeah, I was stuck on that too.
Eating
Did
ain't
you just
cheating.
say eating ain't cheat? I'm
I
just gonna
think I know
leave
what you're
that
saying,
alone.
but Norman 777. Just hope Timmy's not watching right there if it's what I think he means.
No! Devon,
Came out
you're so
bad.
inappropriate.
Devon, we're right here. He
you
said it,
two.
and I went like this.
Get your minds out of the gutters.
Trying my best. Trying my
Terrible
best here.
people. Right, I'll
But,
tell you what is going in the gutter. Jesse. Jesse left to Opal City. We had Wells and Jesse a lot this episode. It was pretty much the only episode we've really seen them have any kind of stuff together. But the way Jesse turned on Wells blew my mind. The way she was sat there in the bed after he'd kind of only just saved her from getting shot in the face, or at least killed in one way or another by trajectory. She goes, maybe my safety shouldn't be your number one priority. I'm sorry. Anybody a father in? Yeah, father. Is
Yes,
your
I'm a father.
is your son's safety
You know,
your number one priority?
I know he's only a month and a half, 2 months. We don't really know each other that well. But I definitely would lose a leg for him if I had to.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know?
saying.
And I don't even know why. I don't know why. All he does is poop and pee on me all the time. But still, I would sacrifice my life for this job. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he's my Kid Flash and I'm, you know.
And how would you feel if he turned back to you and said, well, Dad, maybe I shouldn't be your number one priority?
And I'm like, well, I understand why you need to be shook sometimes. But I'm kidding. I
You
wouldn't do
need to
that.
be shook
But like,
sometimes.
you know, it probably hurts. But then again, I think we've all talked back to our parents at least once or twice. I got the bruises to prove it.
Still now you got bruises
Bruised
lost
to the bone.
Guys, what do you think? Do you think Jessie should have reacted that way with Wells, or do you think she should have actually been grateful for the fact that her father had just saved her life? Everything he's ever done has been to protect her, and in my opinion, I'm not a father, but in my opinion, that is what fathers do. End of story. The world doesn't matter. The people around you don't matter. The only person that is the most important to you is your daughter, your spouse, your son, etc. So, Wells, I'm with you. Jessie, I think that was a massive outburst that was completely not needed. These two, I don't know what's going on with these three right here. But guys, like I said, let us know what you think. But with Jessie did go into Opal City, where does that leave Wally and Jessie? Because at the beginning of this episode, we saw a little twinkle in their eyes at the nightclub scene, and maybe we were thinking, that's a mix match, but this could be fun. So do we think Jessie's possibly coming back from Opal City at some point, or do we think Wally could possibly make his way there?
I'm going with you on the second half of that. I think that he would make his way there because that'd be really cool to see him get his speed force and then end up being like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go to Opal City. And then you could have 2 speedsters in Opal City, and that leaves you open for them joining Legends.
That's if we're going to see her become a speedster. So we did see her get
If-
the
yeah, if
Velocity
it goes
9
there.
injected to her. Unfortunately, things didn't go down too well. And what blood type did she have again?
pH negative.
pH negative.
What is that?
What is
It's like
that?
a pool. That's like a pool chlorine.
Don't know.
Yeah, right, like on the pH
Yeah.
scale. So guys, if that's like an Earth 2 thing where we have different blood types over in Earth 2, that may be a little Easter egg that none of us caught. So feel free to let us know on the YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. You've got the lot. So we're thinking no for Jesse and Wally or yes for Jesse and Wally?
Yes, I'm thinking yes.
I mean, you know, I'm all about West Allen. I don't care what Wally does, unless he gets with Linda. I would like him to get with Linda, but you know, I'm all
You'd
about
like Wally
West
to get with
Allen
Linda?
right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, gotta be with
yeah.
Linda. I'm still a little upset though. You know, there's a little homie hopping going on. I'm not really feeling that, but I mean, in the end, he got to get him some Linda.
I told you
so.
she has her end game. They talked about it in the
Who
beginning.
does?
Who else? Our boo loves West Allen all day. So Iris has her end game.
Oh wait, we're getting to that, okay? We're going to talk about Iris and Scott Evans later on in this show.
All
'cause
right.
that is somebody.
But I thought about it after he started talking too, with Wally. I think that he could go to Opal City, and then that could end up making Jessie a speedster, and we could see her again further down in the future, and then we could see Wally join Legends, because that would be a good intro for Legends to get a speedster.
It would be.
I'd like to see Legends get
What
the
do you
speedster.
do? Think. I mean, I know you're a part of multiple universes within the CW realm.
Right.
Like, have you been a part of any episodes that have dealt with other heroes hopping around? Like, one day you're with Stephen Amell, next day you with Grant Gustin, and then the next day, I mean, I don't know if you've done a Supergirl yet, but I know you might be lining it up. You're a very busy man.
Yeah, that could be next. I've only been in the one episode of The Flash so far, so I thought that they had a nice chemistry, the two of them, Iris and Barry. So
Thank you.
that's
Thank
what
you.
I think.
Thank you.
I never said they didn't have good chemistry, okay?
Like I said, this is a very
know
busy man,
that.
and even he can smell the West Allen funk on him.
Whilst we're talking, sorry, right, we're going to wrap that up with Wells and Jesse. Like I said, guys, feel free to let us know. Do you think we're going to see Wells, not Wells, do we think Wells and Wally? That would be funny, wouldn't it? That'd take a real wrong.
You know, hey, LBGT. man.
LBGT. you
Yeah,
know,
but that's
follow
like
through
dating
with
your
it.
dad.
Wow.
How?
Anyways,
How?
because he's so
How,
much
Karen?
older.
Okay.
Anyways.
Age is just a number in this world, okay?
Age is
Not
a
in
real
court.
thing.
So,
Today, on to the next one. We're going to wrap that bit up real quick right there. And we're going to throw this now to Trajectory. Eliza Harmon, the character played by Alison Page. Alison Page, absolutely brilliant job, by the way, honey. If you guys watch Arrow, I definitely think she has such a similar look to Willa Holland. Willa Holland? That's her
Yeah.
name, right?
Yeah, Willa.
Yeah, Thea, who plays Speedy, of course. Spit an image of him at the times. Even when I used to see the previews, I was like, hold a minute. Is she taking Speedy to a whole new level? But no, didn't happen that way. But how did you guys feel? How did we feel about Trajectory? How did we feel about Alison Page playing Eliza Harmon?
yeah, well, I try to be neutral about the whole who's faster than the Flash type ideal, because y'all know how I feel about that already. I don't even need to say it. But, you know, how about you, Mr. Benier? How did you feel? Because it's not about me.
From an
It's not
outside
about me.
edge, from watching the show
So
like this.
how did I feel regarding?
Her acting, how did
She
you
was
feel about her as an
fantastic.
actor? She's
She was
brilliant, right? That
fantastic, yeah.
split personality
Yeah.
moment when she was in the lab,
Yeah.
and then she was hearing this voice in the back of her head,
Yeah.
that kind of really...
Thought it was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what do you think of that name Trajectory is so difficult for me to say for some reason.
Say ambulance.
But say ambulance?
Yeah. Oh, that's not the one you have a
ambulance.
hard time with. It'll come back to me.
Well, okay. Ambulance. I don't know, but Trajectory, how did you feel about her, and why was it so difficult for Barry to fight her?
I mean, I really enjoyed her as a character, but mainly I loved her costume. I talked about it the whole time. I was like, her costume is so cool. It must be so cool.
How
to
did we
be
get
a
that
superhero.
designed? Who designed that?
I just
Can I
wanna
have
point
that?
out the
I want to
fact-
show up to work in that, like on the daily, the mask and everything. Like, it was really cool. We were watching it, and I was like, that's cool. I want to be an actor that gets to wear that costume. That's a cool costume. I want to be an actor now.
I think when she put on the costume, she would suddenly also change her ethnic background spiritually, because she would go from like, hi, my name's Eliza. Oh no, it's all good.
Well-
and then she put it on. Next thing you know, she got cornrows, and she's up there. What's up? I got your speed, homie. Yeah, now you locked up. Deuces. It was like, whoa.
That's the split personality playing in
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So the back of her, which the Velocity 9 is pretty much, this drug was recreated to it. Devon, we were talking about it earlier. Trajectory's backstory, she was actually grasped in by Lex Luthor to try and join his own team of superheroes, but with the drug that he gave, the drug that, the way he made her fast, then she was in need of a drug called Sharp to slow her down. And she kind of turned that into like oh, Lex Luthor, the only way I could be fast is now you put me in this predicament and now I hate you, when in fact you gave me the one thing that I wanted. So Trajectory herself as the character, I wasn't a huge fan of, but Alison Page and Eliza Harmon in this episode crushed it. Guys, let us know what you think over at the hashtag #TheFlashAS. You got us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube comments right now. I've got Carolina, I believe, checking the YouTube comments right now, so make sure you're constantly uploading and posting on there. Now, I'm going to take a back seat on this one and just hear everybody else's opinion. Scott Evans is the new editor of the Central City Picture News.
Oh, you took it there. You had to take it there.
No.
So,
no.
you said there was a lot of
No.
what between Barry and Iris? There's a lot of
A lot of
chemistry there?
chemistry.
And how about between them two that you saw today? Scott Evans being the editor.
the new
in
editor,
chief.
and Iris. It could also go that way. It looked, I don't know. Could it?
How did you feel from an actor's point of view, from seeing them on screen? Did you feel like they had that initial love connection? Do you feel like
I don't know if it was initial, but I was like, oh, maybe it could go this way as well. I felt like it was suggested. It was suggested, maybe.
I was hoping
You don't
it
think
would.
so?
You're sitting next to Devon. He
I
might take,
hate,
like, a
I
chunk out of
hate
you.
that guy. I hate Scott Evans in every aspect. I think he's a useless character. I think everything that he brings to the table is a joke. Tone Bell is an absolutely hilarious comedian. Like, genius. Tone Bell is a funny guy. Scott Evans, get out of this show now. That is what I have to say about that. He brings nothing to the table. This whole stuff about Iris, and then he's like cocky, and then, dude, you're trying to date one of your employees. Like, can't deal with
Yeah,
it.
you
Scott
can't do
Evans,
that
give
in
me
the
some more
worker
of that.
manual.
You
Right.
don't
Manual
shit
said
when you
you
eat,
can't
people
do
say.
that.
And he even looks like a bit of a knob, doesn't he? I mean, look at him.
A
He's
knob?
like,
He does have a bitch
hi.
face.
He has a resting. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? Things like, oh, I got the balls now because I was this investigator who took down the mayor's office. Shut up, Scott.
Well, you
you
know
got it
what I
totally
said.
wrong about the flat. Like, I'm done. Go on,
There is
please.
No, I
one
was
thing
just
I
gonna
like
say.
So
about
mad
him.
about
Oh,
it.
go.
There's
Go say
one
your one
thing I
thing.
like, and that's because we have matching beards.
But you do realise that he's possibly
like yours is
diverting from
nicer.
West Allen right now, right?
Well, I'm
At the
West
end of that
Allen till
episode,
death.
yeah,
So that's
but-
not even a question. West Allen all day, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right here, boo boo.
Right there.
But I'm going to pull some language out of the gutter and go on with what I said while we were watching it. I was like, guys, we saw the nightclub scene with Barry and Iris. She knows her end game.
Oh,
this is just a fuckboy. She's going to go through her
just-
fuckboys,
girl,
and everything is end
got
boy.
children
I
watching this
said I was pulling out gutter language.
Mr.
I prepared
People
people.
You're
under the
sitting
age
right
of
here.
16.
I never
apologies
say
for
the
that.
F word. This is my first time saying it on air, but it was. They had to have it. That's it. That's
I
it.
agree with you, because at the beginning of the episode, when they were in the nightclub, she did say, oh, well, if we do ever get married, like we do in the future, like we do in Earth 2, and it's like,
I
are
wonder
you just
what our
pulling on our heart?
counterparts are
Exactly. Are you pulling on our heartstrings there, Iris, or are you actually dropping us? You didn't get as excited as what I thought you would, though.
The thing is, because I've learned that they're going to continually tease me with this. And until they're
just
going to,
kinda
like,
cool
you
it
have
with,
to
yeah.
just, there's certain things, like I said, I've learned to accept. The speed inconsistencies, the Iris, the West Allen relationship, it's better come. It's gonna come. In my mind, it's gonna happen, but I have to wait till it does. But the fact that someone like the lovely Mr. Benier here can see it off of one moment on the episode right there, because like I said, this is a very busy man here, okay? He's busy out here raising a whole bunch of other kids like he did me on Reboot,
right.
okay? And he can see it off of one episode. It's there. It's
He
there.
was kind of like I said to you, like a sexy J. Jonah Jameson almost.
Yes.
He had kind of like a gruff but sexy, I felt.
Scruff McGruff, Chicago,
Yeah,
Illinois,
exactly,
60652. Yeah,
exactly,
I get
yeah.
exactly.
Sorry, what?
Well, that's the address that he always said on the Scruff McGruff commercials. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Do you know what he's talking about?
They didn't have that in
The
London.
fact that
I'm
you
assuming.
remember that.
McGruff was a dog detective
Like, yeah.
animated. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Snuff McGruff?
Scruff McGruff.
Scruff.
McGruff.
Yeah.
Stay out of drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Everybody in the 90s, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right, so we're wrapping that up. My opinion is that Scott Evans sucks, okay? So make sure you guys let us know what you think. Are we a fan of Scott Evans coming into this? Are we a fan of the Iris Evans going on right here? Feel free to let us. Actually, the way you just looked at me when I said that just then.
I didn't mean to, but my contact, I had to catch the contact.
Guys, like I
real
said, feel free to let us know. Are we a fan of Scott? Are we a fan of Iris and Scott? Where's this going to go for Iris Allen? West Allen, feel free to let us know using the hashtag #TheFlashAS, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You guys know where you can find us.
And we have to mention Cisco's dancing.
was
First of all,
yeah.
now, that was probably the best hair
Yeah,
flip
no.
I've ever seen in my life. And you said you used to have long hair.
I did when we did Reboot back in the day. I did. Kind of like Cisco. Yeah.
Were you headbanging?
Did you do that same little...
Headbanging? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you can call it that.
Yeah.
Right, that reveal that we finally got. Well, we got the reveal, obviously, before we went on the midterm break, but the team finally got the reveal that Jay Garrick is Zoom.
Ooh.
That was a moment. One thing I do want to ask, I'm going to go straight to the opposite devil's advocate first. Has Cisco never touched Jay before? Has Cisco never touched any of Jay's items before? Has Cisco never had any kind of contact with Jay previously? Because all he had to do was touch his helmet and then he saw that he was Zoom. Come on, man. Surely you've made some kind of connection with Jay since season 2 began, right?
I think he did. I'm pretty sure they've shaken hands at least.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So why did the connection not come up then? Is it because Vibe's powers have become stronger now?
Yes, but he doesn't really have control over his powers, and he's
Agreed.
just learning more about them. So it's very possible that, you know, he had that moment where he touched him and nothing manifested itself, because it even took him a while. Wells had to help him get to the fact that he figured out that, hey, when I touch people, I vibe. So
Maybe
that
it's the
was even
whole
a
thing where, like they say, Jay Garrick is Zoom, but the guy that was there isn't. You know, isn't Jay Garrick. So maybe like the helmet is the one that Jay used to use, but not the costume and stuff. And this is the first time touching the helmet, I would say, maybe. And nobody else can vibe.
Okay, you just shut
You
me
see what I'm
down.
saying?
Well, yeah,
I
that's
didn't
a good
mean
shout.
to, but
No,
you know, I
that's
am
it.
kind of a flat genius.
I think it's the helmet.
You think it's the helmet,
it's the helmet,
because
yeah.
that belonged to the original Jay Garrick,
right.
and so that's why it's helmet that touches. Guys, feel free to let us know. What do you guys think? How did Cisco get his vibes? Are we agreeing with it being the helmet from the original Jay Garrick? You guys know you can use #TheFlashIS. We're going to be checking Twitter. We're going to be checking YouTube. But first, before we come back, we're going to have a quick little Q&A with Michael, just about stuff that he's done. In case you guys didn't know, I'm just going to throw this one out there before we go to the break. He was in this film that came out about a month ago. It was about a guy in a red suit. It was a complete like asshole. What's the movie I'm thinking of? Deadpool.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah. Just saying. This guy was in it. We're going to chat with him about it when we come back. Also, we're going to chat with Michael about his time in The Flash and a new thing that's going to make you 90s kids wet your pants. Guys, we're going to be right back. Have a wee, have a cup of tea. We'll see you shortly.
I was going to say the Santa Claus movie, but Deadpool sounds better.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live. In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
Oh my God.
We had a crazy vampire threesome, and you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like, how did you get here? No. Look at me, I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
He was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is like something.
And we're like, inseparable.
She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. So come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's all good. You can't count anything out. Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv,
It's always
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. We love you.
Guys, welcome back to the Flash After Show. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Like I said, we have our very special guest, Mr. Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very
for
much.
Thank you for still being here after that break as well. We were worried that Michael was going to get up and bounce, but no, we still got him back. Guys, before we go to a quick Q&A and a quick little chat with Michael, we're just going to throw it over to Devon, who's got our live Twitter questions, and I'm sure Devon has a couple shout-outs that he can always squeeze in
Well,
one way
you
or
know me
another.
better than anybody, Jack.
Go ahead,
Shout out
Devon.
to J Ricardo05. I keep forgetting about the man.
Awesome.
At Sugar V Jimin. I hope I said that right. And a quick happy birthday to the real Leowen.
Oh, you got that, Beth? Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And flashfans.org, they always there. They always there. So
Yeah,
it's
they
good.
always there.
So first question is from @Tramel_Ashton. They say, do you think that Jessie will use Trajectory's costume when or if she becomes Jessie Quick?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even
I'm
think
just gonna
about
say
that.
hell to the yes. Okay, because we all saw that lightning still on the suit, so I still feel like the suit is speederific. If that,
The suit holds the power. The suit holds the speed. What a genius idea, Devon.
See?
You come up with them every now and then.
I don't mean to be so perfect, but I just am sometimes. What do you think?
I think yes.
Yes.
Speed in the
See,
suit.
this
That's
is why
not a
we
bad
get along.
idea.
I
Yeah.
just want to hashtag speederific.
Speederific.
Fantastic.
Is
see
that
why
it?
we're
You
sitting
just
on
made
the
up a
same
new
couch?
word. We're going to have
Yeah.
to TM that.
This right here. Next question is from @your boy D-Rec in a Flash. Okay, Do you guys think Trajectory disappeared into the Speed Force?
Yes.
I will say maybe. It's hard because I'm thinking like a Savitar, Barry Allen type Lost in the Speed Force thing. But that would be cool to maybe see her later on coming out, you know, as, I don't know, yeah.
That's
maybe.
interesting. Are they going to want to bring Trajectory back, or was this just a one-stop shop for Trajectory? So that's where I'm thinking now. Is it that she ran so fast that she literally just became nothing, like literally just degenerated and dissolved, so there was nothing left of her?
It's hard to say because you got to think, like, Barry runs through time, and he doesn't, like, energy out away. She wasn't running that fast, so I think
she was running faster than he ever could.
Not ever could, because she was still in the same timeline. At the moment, though. But maybe it was like they were saying, you know, the cells degenerate.
And disintegrated out of her.
But it would be nice to think that's what it looks like to get trapped in the
I
Speed
want
Force.
to think that she's in the Speed Force, and maybe later on that's how they could bring her back, is Barry goes in the Speed Force and finds out she's there, and either she helps him get out of it, or he helps her get out of
Wally
it.
doing that.
Wally.
It's going to be Wally doing that, don't worry about that. Guys, let us know what you think. Are you feeling, we've clearly got a 50-50 view here. I don't think Trajectory is going to be coming back in it, as much as I'd love to see Alison Page again. But we've got Devon and Carolina thinking that there's a possibility she could be caught in the Speed Force and coming back. You guys know where to hit us up. The Flash AES, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, the lot. Devon, third and final question?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Is from, Sugar V. Jimin.
Oh, hey, Sugar V.
Do you guys think the watch was reacting to Wally West since it had already beeped to Barry?
Yeah, is that the question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't bring that up because I was... Pardon? Anyways, repeat that once more for me, brother.
It said, do you guys think the watch was reacting to Wally West since it had already beeped to Barry?
Yes. So his metahuman watch, what's its metahuman watch? Because in Earth 2, everybody has a metahuman watch because when they went into the cafeteria, what happened? Everybody's on Earth 2. What happened? Everybody's watch started beeping because Killer Frost and Deathstorm? Yeah, Deathstorm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Came in. So I have a feeling that when she popped up and saw Barry, it was like beep, 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 because it was Barry. And then when she bumped into Wally, it started beeping too. Or could be a red herring and just be like, oh, maybe this, maybe it's not. Guys, what do you think? What do you 3, 4 think?
I don't think so. I think it was Barry.
You think it was Barry?
Yeah, Wally ain't electrified yet.
What are we going with? Right, hands up for Barry.
I'm thinking an Easter egg. Like, I'm thinking like it's a alluding to possibly.
Yeah, alluding to the possibility
hey,
of
Wally
it.
is going to have something happen here soon. That's what I'm thinking.
Game on. That's it for the Twitter questions. Guys, thank you very much for those Twitter questions, of course. And now, we're going to take a step off the Flash. Well, before we take a step off the Flash, Mr. Michael, would you like to tell us about your day and your episode on the Flash real quick? Give the fans a little bit of an insight as what it's like to be a... You're a crime mob boss. You're a badass.
Yes,
on that show.
my name was Araz Darbinian.
I thought it was Darbinian.
Very close. Once again, I did the show before the show aired. So this was the first season. They didn't know which way it was going to go. I think they were trying to figure out if it was going to be kind of, episodic in nature or kind of more arcs. So the episode I was in, which was episode...
I don't want to tell them.
You don't want to tell them? Okay.
No, we're not telling them.
Well, too late.
Did you just say it?
Just said it.
If you guys didn't hear it, don't go long.
Early on, the villain was the Mist. Yes. So they wanted to illustrate how the Mist works, and you see me as this kind of, mob boss talking to my minions.
Because your drivers had been stealing from you.
Right, that's right. Yeah. And they'd heard about this guy in red who was doing something, and I didn't believe it. And of course, the Mist comes in and takes me out. So it was a very long day on the set, and we were in a real restaurant, a working restaurant in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, awesome.
And it was the cross street of the city, and people were walking by and seeing us filming, and it was pretty exciting. And of course, there really was no real mist.
That's what I was just about to ask. I was just about to say to you. So when you died, because obviously the mist crept up behind you and went up your nose and started coughing. So is that literally the director's like action?
Right.
And then you
and I created my own idea of where the mist was, and then the animators, CGI animators, did it afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, how cool is that? So there you go, guys. That's pretty much how you learn when you have to get killed by the mist. This guy's your way forward. But it's just nice to hear that kind of backstory, because obviously when we do watch this TV show in itself, there's so many layers to it that we don't think about. But then to have you come on and tell us that it's like, look, I just had to, even when we had Robbie Amell who played Firestorm, and he was saying to us that when he had to take off as Firestorm, all he would do is stand there and do that. and he said he felt so stupid doing that every time. So I feel like you kind of had a similar moment where all of a sudden you'd be talking and then just start dying.
Right, wheezing until I fell on the floor. Yes, yes, multiple times, probably 25 times that day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, for real?
You died 25 times.
Yeah, I would say it was a long day. You know, they have to get it from every angle and
Guys, for those of you who want to be an actor, just letting you know right now, we're not too sure how good that's going to just play with you.
Right.
But let's talk about some of the things that, well, one of the things that you've done, like we said before we mentioned to the break, Mr. Michael here was our character Warlord in Deadpool. And what was it like shooting on Deadpool, Michael?
Well, it was really interesting because the movie was so top secret that they didn't even tell you that it was Deadpool. You had to kind of figure that out yourself. The working title was Wham! And when I saw the film, I saw that there's a reference to Wham!, the band, in the movie, so I was like, that's very clever. And when I did my scene, I didn't know who my scene was with. I assumed that it was with Deadpool, and of course it wasn't. It was with Ed Skrein, who plays Ajax, or Francis. And it was an exciting day. Once again, one day, but it's a huge movie, and it's amazing to see how popular it is.
It's got to be like a 12-hour day or something.
It was a long day.
And your set for that was outside on a helicopter pad,
I actually did fly around in the helicopter several times and exit the helicopter when we landed. I don't know if it's in the film, but I actually did fly around for half an hour.
Awesome. Yeah, because I think it gets you landing in the film, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It gets you landed, and you walk out, and you have the brief, or one of your minions has the briefcase or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was good to see you in that, and it's good to have you here, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, and thanks for that little back end there as well. You see, guys, I didn't know it wasn't called. It was called Wham! Originally before it was untitled.
That's the code name. They don't want to tell people what's going on, right?
See that.
Years ago, I did a Jason, the slasher movie, Friday the 13th movie.
Yes.
So when I did that, they wouldn't say that it was a Friday the 13th movie because of all the people that would come to the set and try and do things on the set. So it was called Ashes to Ashes, and I still have a script somewhere with the character Jason is called Ethan.
Oh, wow.
You have to bring that script in for us just so we can get a bit of a back-end story there. God, how awesome was that? That's what you get about Deadpool, a little bit about Flash, and now we're going to tease those 90s kids. So, who of you remember Legends of the Hidden Temple? I know these guys do. Unfortunately, being British, I'm not too familiar with it. However, for those British people out there, if you ever watched Jungle Run, it was kind of similar. I know there's a few Brits watching right now, so that's why I'm hitting out to you guys. Jungle Run's very similar to the Legends of the Hidden Temple. But, Michael, real quick, give us a rundown on what's going on with that and how that's going to be progressing for you.
Right. Well, Legends of the Hidden Temple was a 90s game show on Nickelodeon, and it was basically an obstacle course for two teams of kids set on a set that was like an Aztec temple. And all the hints and things to do in the game were given to you by this talking statue named Olmec, who was a statue of a Mayan king. Oh, cool. Now, Nickelodeon is doing kind of an origin story of how it came to be, and these kids get into a temple and go back in time. And I am playing Olmec. This is the first time it's been made public. I'm playing Olmec, and you see me thousands of years ago playing Olmec and how I come to be the statue.
Can you give us a little voice? Can you give us an
know
Olmec
if you
voice?
know the voice, it's very similar to the voice of the actual statue from the original show.
Okay.
And I took a photo on set, which I can show your viewers out there.
Awesome.
If they follow me on Twitter, I will put it up later.
Can we pop up his Twitter and his Instagram handle real quick?
Michael Bender, my name.
Yeah,
right here,
that
you
as
can
well. We'll be sending it to you guys anyways.
Great.
But, and that's you for the future, and then that's going to be your next big thing.
We just finished that. They're still filming the movie. I just finished my part, And I also did a movie last summer that should be coming out this year with Kate Upton and Alex Daddario called The Layover.
Alex Daddario.
Yeah, she's a beautiful lady. Both are beautiful ladies, yes.
Of them, correct.
Directed by William H. Macy, the actor, who you might know. Yeah, it's a comedy about two girls who get stuck on a layover and vie for the same guy. I am not that guy.
Oh, no, I was like, do they need that guy?
Not that guy.
I'll put my hand up. I'll be the one between Kate Upton and Andrea. Yes. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Of course, special thank you to Michael. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks
if
for
you
having
wouldn't
me.
mind, I'm going to shake your hand.
Thanks
very
mate.
much. Guys, from Rory, Carolina, Devon, me, The Flash is back. The Flash is here for the next 7 or 8 episodes. Oh, yeah. The Flash AS is going to be here every Tuesday night after The Flash. Feel free to join us. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like I said, guys, you got us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the lot. You know where to find us. #TheFlashAS. Till next Tuesday.
If you want more from The Flash After Show, hit that button and subscribe to the stream.tv.